Darwinism, or me, a lecturer in pointless anthropology, work things out.
That's the problem with liberals. They don't know when to shut up and enjoy freedom. Let's go to the phones.
Yeah, hi. Here's the deal. I'm really funny, but nobody wants to hire somebody funny. I mean, how is that fair? I mean, I'm white, middle class, very erudite, whatever that means, but people just respond badly to me. I don't understand it.
Are you related to my husband?
I don't think so.
I hope not. Have you got a question about politics?
Yeah, sure. I know a lot about politics. Hey, can I do your job? I used to be on the radio back in the day.
Even my husband can't do his job, you strange, pathetic little sap. Let's have a real caller, please.
Hi, my name's Michelle. I'm a first-time caller to the show. I wanted to know what you guys thought about the proposition to ban smoking.
Well, this is a simple issue. Smoking. Democracy at work again in our state. Seems like a good thing when you first look at it, but democracy only works when you agree with it. Then it's best to favor a totalitarian state. I'm not sure about this one.
I think smoking is an invasion of my body, and I've always wanted to shoot people. I'm right behind the proposition.
Me too. Thanks, Michelle.
I also wanted to say hi to my stepbrother Phil, who's been undergoing a hair transplant today. Hey Phil, if you're listening, I hope it's 6 this time. I won't tell anyone you've got plugs, honey. I'm really proud of you.
That's great, honey, but if you want shout-outs, call the rap station.
That's offensive, and I'm really offended by what you're saying. I'm a smoker. This used to be a free country.
When?
Good point, darling. Gotcha. Yes, good point. But remember, our founding fathers grew tobacco. It relaxed them between stressful stints of genocide and witch burning. And you're so against raising taxes, smokers pay more taxes than anyone. My grandfather smoked his whole life, and he lived until he was 32. So what I'm saying is, why can't we encourage more smoking and use the money to pay for better health care and some cultural programs, bringing expressive dance and sun worship back to the inner cities?
Worrying about the inner city has ruined your academic career, and this woolly thinking is going to ruin your chances of getting anywhere with me tonight.
Promise?
The thing is, smoking is good because it lets people make a lot of money, but so is selectively culling the population. So what I'm proposing is a change in the proposition. Let people smoke, but make cigarettes much cheaper and force everyone to smoke. That way we weed out the weak, make a lot of money in tax, and keep our national heritage intact.
Line 2, you're on I Say, You Say.
Hi, I listen every time to your show. It's really made me think about the world a whole new way. I moved out of the city because it sucks. Now I live in a compound surrounded by barbed wire and shoot and kill anyone I don't recognize on my land. Just want to say thank you. That's some quality broadcasting.
Thanks. That makes me feel a lot better about myself. Have you got a question?
Yeah, I got corpses from 15 illegal immigrants in my yard. I killed them all myself with my bare hands. Could I get a tax break for all this unpaid work?
Good question. I would certainly hope so. Ask your accountant if you can register them as dependents. Then hide most of your net worth offshore in a complex money laundering system designed to support the drugs trade. Then you can pay virtually no taxes and complain about how awful you think the whole country is, knowing you're doing as little as possible to help.
Cool, thanks. That's good advice.
I'm appalled at you, Mary Phillips.
Why?
Because that man has a garden full of corpses, and you're talking about money laundering.
Yes, it's a great opportunity for some profit-centric thinking.
You missed a wonderful opportunity to talk about recycling and organ donation.
Oh, God, give me strength. I married a fool.
I married a fool.
You know, when we first met, Peyton, I thought you were so glamorous with your long hair and big ideas. You were studying for a PhD in cultural ceramic history or cross-cultural underwear or something, and I was very young. Very foolish. Now I see you for what you are.
And what's that exactly?
An intellectual cesspit. A middle-class disaster. A guilt trip wrapped in neuroses and completely unable to function in this society. No wonder I've begun to sleep around.
And on that note, we have to go visit our marriage therapist.
Bring it on.
Who is a conniving bitch and won't write me any more prescriptions for painkillers. Remember, when the left wing and the right wing come together, the country can really get going.
Straight off a cliff. We'll see you next time.
Hey,
Boy, I can't imagine what those guys are like in the bedroom, but I'm sure it's a bit like the Bay of Pigs. That was I Say, You Say.
At home, at work, or in rehab, listen to WCTR.
Next up, we've got the news. This time, some of it's true. Who are we kidding?
I'm Leanne Forget, WCTR News. Here's everything that matters in simple terms so you can understand. A dire warning from America's gun manufacturers.
Arm yourself or die!
And the Louisiana Purchase. Bees for Plus, wallpaper. Something big is happening in home furnishings. Don't be left behind. Our top story. Alan Crawford, manager of the rapper Mad Dog, murdered. Mad Dog recently launched a clothing label and compared himself favorably to Jesus and Gandhi while sniffing a lot. The brutal murder remains unsolved. Police suspect foul play. Richard Burns is at the scene.
No. Actually, Leanne, that story wasn't very interesting. So, I rode with San Fierro Police Detective Turk Martin, who was assigned to curtail illegal street racing activities in the countryside surrounding Los Santos and San Fierro.
You know what's really cool? You have to chase these slime balls really fast. And if you hit someone right, it's not your fault.
Easy there, fella.
This is so cool. You get to eat while you work? Let me see that. Hey, stop now, bitches, or we'll shoot out your tires.
Put that down!
Ah, dude, don't be a dick. Let me shoot out his tires.
I'm doing like 110 miles an hour right now.
Okay. In foreign news, a heavily discredited former dictator in Latin America is claiming a U.S. government agency sold him weapons in exchange for drugs that are now being sold on the streets of our cities. Government officials strongly deny the claim.
Why would we do something so crazy? We don't need drugs. We have good hookups already. Besides which, do you know how much cocaine is needed to buy a helicopter? It's more than I can snort.
Leanne Forget, WCTR News. Stay worried out there.
Come live the mystery.
Cool off in our water sports park. I'll show your kids a great time. It's something they'll never forget and talk about for years to come, especially at therapy sessions.
It's the place for magic and adventure.
Leaving me free to shop and get lipo.
Who's ready for the incredible Dribbles voyage?
Jerry, can we come too?
This is a journey you must undertake alone. It can be dark and scary, shriek with delight.
What's that hole in the wall for?
You wait and see. You'll be amazed. Fuck, this suit's not.
Glory Hole Theme Park. Open every day till 3 a.m.
Today, we marched on from Fort Strother after sunrise to a creek village where our troops fought the savages and shot them like dogs.
Honey, it's time for bed.
Hang on a second. I'm killing a squaw. Take that, you pagan bitch. No.
Him and his commemorative miniatures. My husband was getting so bored working and he didn't have an interest to spend money on. But he's always loved history. Then I heard about grown men who like to play with toy soldiers.
War is so interesting. With commemorative miniatures, I began by faithfully rebuilding the Charge of Light Brigade, and after that, the Trail of Tears. I've built accurate recreations of 15 significant battles, as well as training camps, prisoner of war camps, and forced labor death camps. Now I spend all my time painting toy soldiers and attending conventions.
Commemorative miniatures. They're instantly collectible and a great value. For just 37 monthly payments of $19.99, you get a starter pack allowing you to recreate the battle of your choice. Show your inability to deal with present-day problems by recreating scenes of mass slaughter from the past.
Reenacting battles is great for your marriage, too. One night, my husband's General Custer. The next, Napoleon. On Saturdays, I'm a Cambodian villager. And he's a GI that has his way with me.
Then I kill her.
Commemorative miniatures. They're not toys. They're very valuable, collectible 2-inch pewter model armies. This is a hobby you can't afford to miss out on.
If you're into exploring exotic places and forbidden fruit, stay tuned. It's The Wild Traveler. Next.
Support for The Wild Traveler is brought to you by the Ultimate Disc in the Dark Association of America, who encourages you to get out and play hard. Hello, I'm James Pedestin, World Traveler, and this is The Wild Traveler. We're discussing the world and all of its many pleasures. Let me put it like this. Why have a hot dog from an uncaring vendor by the bathroom when you can attend a beer-guzzling marathon in Germany with enormous men and taste a wonderful German's Wurst? The world is full of incredible things, and you can discover them for yourself. Come along, I'll take you there.
Man, you really don't want to do this.
It was dusk, and the sun bled red over the city in Thailand as Chen brought me a sparkling water. A delicate, handsome, lovely young boy. A world of possibilities. But war is folly, and we can only unite by visiting these epochs of culture, where a man can be himself, smoke cigarettes, dress in gladiator clothing if he likes,
We mustn't force our way and culture upon other people's. Rather, breathe it in, become part of it. Maybe Hemingway was right about love. Maybe Freud was. We're all fighting inside to let a wild creature mate in the rain. I travel, therefore I am. This is a show that embraces culture from around the world. Let's take our first caller. Hello?
Yeah, I totally agree with you about Australia. And you're right, the moon is shit. Also, I was thinking of visiting Colombia. Do you have any recommendations?
Oh, yes, fantastic forms of recreation to be had in Colombia. It's a blizzard of excitement. And cheap. The rails are great and long. Bolivia's not bad either. Or Peru. You'll be surprised to find out how the party never stops.
How's the food?
Well, a lighter is the most you need to cook up food. But there's scarcely time to eat, my boy. You'll meet fascinating people, feel so comfortable you'll rip your clothes off and howl for days. Next caller.
Yeah, hi. My name's Geraldine, calling from Kansas City. This is such a great country. Why would you go anywhere else? It's unpatriotic to travel. I mean, I got war, famine, depression, and pollution right here on my doorstep. And parents, don't let kids Euro-rail after college. They'll come back with ludicrous misconceptions about healthcare, charity, and civilization. Europe is not the real world. This is.
Well, I love to slum about in a dirty youth hostel with communal showers as much as the next man. Sometimes more. But I have to agree, Europe is overrated. Eastern Europe was good for a few years after the wall came down, but even there the police are too strict. You just can't let your hair down. There are far more unexplored pleasures to be had in the Far East. Next caller, you're on the Wild Traveler.
Hey, I've been listening to you go on and on about traveling. Do you know how expensive it is to fly to Asia? Russia saw the light. They're all coming here to set up crime families and run numbers. South America, everyone went extinct there. They have less culture there than the content of my toilet bowl. Rainforest, schmainforest. And Mexico, if I wanted to be that close to my ancient ancestors, I'd be banging my mother-in-law instead of my wife's best friend.
Look, we can fight like beasts or agree to disagree. I'm sure the summit of your aspirations in life is a cheerleader with fake guns, but some of us think a little more exotically than this. Next caller, vamos, buenos dias and noches. If you don't smile, I won't tip. Harder! Sorry, got lost for a second. Speak.
Hey, I love this show. I'm a huge fan. I visit all the places you recommended, and in a lot of them, they're still talking about you. I even saw posters of you in the customs booth at the airport in the Philippines. You rock!
No doubt, I love Manila. Had a great time.
That show you did last week? What was the name of that spiritual center in Bangkok?
The Wild Dragon's Happy Ending. Very spiritual. You will find inner peace.
Awesome. I can't wait. Thanks, man.
Yes, we all love to travel, get away from it all, get away from the people with computers and their databases, the police harassing you for doing nothing. I just hate showing up to some place to enjoy myself and people are being forced from their homes by war or famine or whatever. Life is great. Stop ruining it. Next caller.
Hey, the FBI wants to talk to me about a perfectly innocent collection of vacation photographs overseas that I had no idea were being taken. I mean, any ignorant fool can misinterpret. I was teaching them how to swim.
I have a lot of experience with this. I want you to stop for a moment and let me read from my travel journal. I think everyone should keep a journal. Paste pictures, notes. Sometimes people object to you taking their picture, but a few pennies of their local currency and they will fawn over you. Some people think this is patronizing, but I think it is fair enough. They need the money and I need the company. Besides which, it is the oldest profession. What? Oh, time for me to head south again. I'm James Peniston, and this has been The Wild Traveler.
This is WCTR, committed to bringing you shows like The Wild Traveler, the show that takes you around the world and abandons you at the airport.
If you crave news, WCTR, West Coast Talk Radio.
Next up, it's sensationalist propaganda. I mean the news.
I'm Leanne Forget, WCTR News. Here's what you should think matters. Breaking news. Strange lights spotted over the desert. Here's an eyewitness report.
I seen some strange lights over the desert. Yep, sure did.
Currently, we have no more information. In other news, residents are upset at taxes funding the Los Santos Museum of Natural History.
This fascination with the past is ridiculous. I mean, I've been to Pangea.
ya, it was disgusting. Our ancestors were idiots. My grandmother can barely talk, she's so stupid.
Also, organ theft. How to know if you're going to wake up in a bathtub of ice. More gang violence. We go to the streets of Los Santos with Richard Burns.
That's right, Leanne. I'm Richard Burns, and I am in a terrible part of town. A town under siege by hoodlums. Gang and drug wars are plaguing the city.
Hey, you put this word or what? Yeah, just put it in the bin.
A huge sudden upsurge in cocaine sales have been reported. The street wars between gangs of Ballas and Grove Street hoodlums came to a head recently when several senior Grove Street gang members were killed while others were incarcerated. The police described that as, and I'm quoting, excellent news. Back to you, Leanne. Hey, has this been cut?
Hell no, it's good shit.
Bridges linking Red County and Flint County finally reopened recently after long delays following the earthquake. The governor congratulated himself extensively. In entertainment news, first it was the Budgies, then it was Love Fist. Now the British invasion starts up again, this time from the Scottish village of Manchester. New band The Gurning Chimps are tipped for stardom. We caught up with the lead singer Macker when he landed in Los Santos Airport.
The Gurning Chimps are coming to America, man. We're gonna take over. Mark my words and wipe my fucking ass. Lock up your daughters and get the drugs in. Manchester's in the area.
Leanne Forget, WCTR News. Keep it locked on. It's getting worse out there.
The news and all the other things that really matter to you. Like sensationalist bullshit.
Coming up next, it's time for the man who can grow anything big and strong. It's Gardening with Maurice, broadcasting live from his garden.
Howdy doodles, this is Gardening with Maurice, and I am Maurice. Ever since man was kicked out of the garden, he's been striving to get back in. I believe all of life's answers can be found in something as simple as a flower. Its stem, its pistil, its pollen, just like me and you. We're going to the phones. Hello, you're on Gardening with Maurice. I am Maurice. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, thanks for having me on. I'm a big fan. I have a question. My melons aren't big enough. I thought they were gonna keep growing, but they just stopped. My next door neighbor has huge melons, and everyone just fawns over them. Oh, they taste so sweet. Oh, look how firm they are. What do I do?
Ooh, I would love to see your melons. Look, gardening is a spiritual, light journey where you become one with nature. However, sometimes nature needs some chemicals to, kind of kick things into action. There's a fantastic fertilizer I use called pituitarizine. It needs to be injected with a needle, so be very, very careful and inject that right into your melons and they will grow enormous.
Thanks so much, Maurice. You're the best.
Yes, I know. I've been at one with nature for so long now, I can't remember what it's like to sleep inside. Next caller.
God, I was on hold forever. I've heard that facials are great, really make you look younger.
Oh, yes. Listen, honey, I should know. When you look like a train wreck, you need a little makeup or some such. You sound like a lonely spinster with two pussies. Cats.
Area 53. We're sorry. If you love to hear liberals whine and conservatives lecture, then stay tuned for I Say, You Say.
The future of America. And Mussolini were vegetarian.
And we take on the highly charged debate about test tube babies and actually talk to one.
I have flashbacks.
On I Say, You Say. We share a last name.
You gonna represent the set now, homie?
Yeah, I'm always down. What are we gonna do?
Oh, darling.
Yes, unfortunately it did. I don't know if you saw today's news, so who is in the right in this great dialectical disaster? Is it, as I think, a case of share and share alike, love your fellow man and all wear matching jumpsuits while working on corn, growing potatoes, or kill or be killed, crush the weak, and starve the poor, as my wonderful wife thinks? You decide, or let us decide for you.
We got some work to put in. You down? Hey, you know me, CJ.
When to shut up and enjoy freedom. Let's go to the phones.
Yeah, hi. Here's the deal. I'm really funny, but nobody wants to hire somebody funny. I mean, how is that fair? I mean, I'm white, middle class, very erudite. You know, whatever that means. But people just respond badly to me. I don't understand it.
Are you related to my husband?
I don't think so.
I hope not. Have you got a question about politics?
Yeah, sure. I know a lot about politics.
Let's have a real caller, please.
Hi, my name's Michelle. I'm a first-time caller to the show. I wanted to know what you guys thought about the proposition to ban smoking.
Well, this is a simple issue. Smoking. Democracy at work again in our state. Seems like a good thing when you first look at it, but democracy only works when you agree with it. Then it's best to...
Hey, watch my feet, homeboy.
Just shoot people. I'm right behind the proposition.
Me too. Thanks, Michelle.
I also wanted to say hi to my stepbrother Phil, who's been undergoing a hair transplant today. Hey, Phil, if you're listening, I hope it sticks this time. I won't tell anyone you've got plugs, honey. I'm really proud of you.
I'm smoking. This used to be a free country.
When?
Ha! Good point, Dolly. Gotcha. Yes, good point. But remember, our founding fathers grew tobacco. Smokers pay more taxes than anyone. My grandfather smoked his whole life. He lived until he was 32. So what I'm saying is, why can't we encourage more? Back to the inner cities.
Worrying about the inner city will ruin your academic career. And this woolly thinking is gonna ruin your chances of getting anywhere with me tonight.
Promise?
The thing is a change in the proposition. Let people smoke, but make cigarettes much cheaper and force everyone to smoke. That way we weed out the weak, make a lot of money in tax, and keep our national heritage intact.
Whole new way. I moved out of the city because it sucks. Now I live in a compound surrounded.
Have you got a question?
Yeah, I got corpses from 15 illegal...
I'm always there. Cover me, cuz. Use your motherfucking eyes next time.
Why?
Because that man has a garden full of corpses and you're talking about money laundering. And organ donation!
Oh, God, give me strength. I married a fool. You were studying for a PhD in cultural ceramic history or cross-cultural underwear or something, and I was very young, very foolish. Now I see you for what you are.
And what's that exactly?
An intellectual cesspit, a middle-class disaster, a guilt trip wrapped in...